Welcome friends to the newcamera.com channel, and today we are going to talk about the Fuji Film X-A5 comparison with the Sony A6000 camera. Let me remind you that both camera comes under $600 price tag, so they are belong to the same price level as well as same entry level category. Now let's talk about the similarities of both the camera. Both camera features a 24 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor. Now for resolution wise, you are getting the same resolution as well as the sensor size is same. Now due to the fact that the Fujifilm is bit newer, the camera features a bit more expandable ISO range than of the Sony A6000 camera. But keep in mind that you are getting the ISO 100 in Fuji X-A5 when you are selecting the expandable ISO setting. The standard ISO setting of the Fujifilm X-A5 allows you to select ISO beginning with 200. Now, for that, you get the ISO range from 100 to 51200 in the Fujifilm X-A5 camera, and in Sony you get from 100 to 12800. Now if you talk about the specification sheet, then definitely the Fujifilm X-A5 camera is giving you bit more ISO range, whether you are talking about the standard ISO range or expandable ISO range. So we do expect and hope that Fujifilm X-A5 camera will going to perform bit better in the low light performance compared to the Sony A6000 camera. So we are tagging up the Fujifilm X-A5 camera is a good low light performer when compared to the Sony A6000 camera. Now in the next section we are going to talk about the autofocus performance of both the camera, which camera carries a better autofocusing sensor inside it. Keep in mind that Sony A6000 camera is approx 3+ year olds and Fuji X-A5 is a new camera, but for that the Sony A6000 camera capture 11 frames per second with continuous autofocusing support, whereas the Fujifilm X-A5 limited to 6 frames per second only with the continuous autofocus support, and the max buffer of Sony A6000 is much more compared to the X-A5. Let me talk in detail about the buffer of both the camera. With the Fujifilm X-A5, as you can see, you can capture 6 frames per second limited to 10 shots only. That means a very small buffer is sitting inside the camera. Now if you talk about the Sony A6000, I have personally seen and tested that with that camera you can capture 22 RAW files and 45 JPEG file. So Sony A6000 is a better camera if you're looking for a fast autofocusing performance and with more buffer. So we are tagging Sony A6000 for faster autofocusing performance here. Now in the next section we are going to talk about the video performance of the both the camera, and for me both camera records 4K full HD video, and Fujifilm really amazing. Fujifilm somehow inserted the 4K video inside that X-A5 camera, but if you are going to look at the specification you will going to shocked out. The 4K is limited to 15 frames per second and up to 5 minutes only. Then what the hell is the 4K is for? After 5 minutes your 4K video will going to stop and you have to start again manually. That clearly indicates the camera is suffocated with the low buffer, and the A6000 on the other hand doesn't record 4K video, but it do record decent full HD video. Now again the A6000 camera will going to do better autofocusing performance in the video mode compared to the Fujifilm X-A5. One of the biggest reason is the Sony A6000 face detection autofocusing system is active anytime, and you can see the AF system can do autofocus even at 11 frames per second. We have seen lots of reviews related to the A6000 camera, and also the A6000 camera autofocusing performance is just blazing fast in the video. So if you are looking for a good video camera, then go for the Sony A6000, since Sony A6000 will going to do better AF during the full HD video recording. And if you want to get a 4K camera, then get a Panasonic G7 instead of all these two camera. So in my view, Get the Fujifilm X-A5 camera if you want to shoot a bit better low light images. Otherwise, you get better autofocusing performance with the Sony A6000 camera. Also, the Sony A6000 camera records better high quality video. So for my conclusion is get the Sony A6000 camera. And for those who say that the Fuji X-A5 is giving the extra 1 or 2 stops of ISO, then my question is, how many images do you capture at ISO 12800 or at 25600? For me, if I am shooting at an entry level camera, the maximum ISO range I allow is up to 3200 only. After that, the images are unusable to me. So the maximum ISO range I recommend for an entry level camera to a user is the 3200. So in my view, the high ISO range are completely usable content, lot of noise. So if you're going to talk about the best camera, again I am recommending the A6000. Go and get it. Thank you for watching this video and do subscribe and like. Thank you very much.